Greetings all. I recently released a video of me playing an ambient guitar meditation in the National Forest near my home. Since then, I've gotten several questions about how I recorded it and how I got the sound. So I thought on this video, I'd just take a few minutes to kind of break it down for you. Alright, so as you can see, I'm playing my Fender Telecaster Baritone, and it is using capos to create a dadgad style tuning. If you haven't seen my episode on capos and tunings, you should check it out. After determining what I was going to play and which guitar I was going to play it on, the next challenge was to figure out how I could take some effects pedals into the National Forest. Fortunately, several of my pedals are battery powered, so that's what I relied on. Let's check out what I used. After the guitar itself, I plugged into my Wampler Ego compressor, running on batteries. From there, I plugged the compressor into my Morley Little Alligator volume pedal. And then, surprise, surprise, you may not have known this, the Boss DD500 actually runs on 4 AA batteries. So I loaded it up and got it going with a preset called Ice Room. So if you're curious about that actual delay I used, it's actually the Ice Room preset. All I did was change the effect level, the feedback, and I tapped in the correct tempo. From the DD500, I went directly into my Zoom H4n portable recorder, again, running on batteries. That's all it was. Pretty straightforward, and it allowed me to set up in the middle of the woods and play away. So let's check out what I did in the mix. I've got my audio loaded into Logic Pro, and let's take a listen to what I captured in the National Forest. All right, not bad. Let's listen to the end where there's a little more going on. Okay, not a bad recording. You can hear pretty well the Boss DD500 delay going on, which gives the overall tone some depth. But you can also tell that it was recorded without an amp or an amp modeling unit. It's just kind of a dry, dull guitar tone. All right, so let's add some effects and spice it up. First up is the Waves GTR amp modeling plugin. You may not have this plugin, and that's cool. If you have Logic, there is the Amp Designer, and there are like 1,000,001 other amp modeling plugins out there. But in any case, no matter which one you're using, you can leverage it to create a more realistic guitar amp tone. So with this plugin, I just selected a preset called Presence and Warmth. Check it out. And the end. Isn't that cool? It's almost like a cloud of mud was lifted from the guitar signal just through the amp modeling unit itself. Pretty cool. All right, that's the amp modeler. Let's move on to some EQ and compression. And I happen to be using the iZotope Neutron. If you don't have the Neutron, you can use your stock EQ and compression plugins, but I like the Neutron a lot, so that's what I used. Check this out. In terms of the EQ curve, Neutron can give you suggestions, and then you can modify from there. So that's what I did, and there was a suggestion of a roll-off to eliminate low-end mud and a couple little boosts between 600 and 1 kilohertz, and a kind of an odd little dip in the upper high end, but cool. So, and then also there's some compression going on with a 4:1 ratio, and just to kind of smooth out the dynamics. So let me turn this off and let's have a listen to it. Okay, it's fairly subtle. You can actually hear some pumping going on, though, from the compression. And if I was going to stop there, I think I would dial back the compression a little bit, because it might be a little annoying to hear that thumping, or pumping, I should say. And but that's not where we're going to stop. We've got a few more plugins to go, and I think that squishing the dynamic range works pretty well. So next up is the Valhalla Space Modulator. And I've got this one set to a mode called doubler. So as you might expect, it's going to tend to double the signal. And the mix is fairly low, and there's obviously some modulation going on. So I've got it turned off, and then let me turn it on so you can hear it. Did you hear that when I stopped it? There's a little bit of ring modulation going on. Check it out. Kind of cool. And again, if I had this mix cranked way up, it would be kind of annoying, but it's pretty low, and I think it's kind of subtle. All right, let's move on to the Eventide Blackhole. So what an awesome plugin. I got this recently on sale, and I am still plumbing the depths of it. As we look at this plugin, though, it's kind of focused on doing ambient reverbs, kind of crazy reverb types of effects. I've got the mix fairly high. There's a knob called Gravity that I haven't plumbed into the depths yet, but it seems to affect the timing of the reverb decay, along with the size being pretty big, and then a significant pre-delay for the reverb itself. And you can see I'm cutting some lows, adding a little bit of highs, and down here in the modulation section, I've got some of that going on. So I'm going to turn this off and then turn it on. Here we go. Kind of cool, huh? So when it's on, there is a delayed, and this is from the pre-delay, there's a delayed reverb coming in. Check it out on the louder part of the song. I like that a lot, and it really adds a lot of depth to what is going on. I tried to kind of time that 298 there, that millisecond, with the overall tempo of the song, so that the delayed decay, delayed reverb, I guess I should say, is kind of in time with the overall tempo. All right, Black Hole, love it. EOS, audio damage. I wanted a reverb then, after everything else, to just kind of add a wash around all the effects. So here we go. Okay, so it kind of adds a large hall room kind of sound. Check it out in the louder portion of the song. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm using the Super Hall model. You can see it's a long decay, some diffusion. In the modulation section, I've got a little bit of that going on, and I've got just kind of some low to mids kind of emphasized with this EQ curve. So I like that a lot. All right, so those are the effects. One of the things I like about this combination is it adds a really nice ambient wash around the guitar tone without the guitar itself getting lost. So listen again. Yeah, sorry. I like that balance a lot. Anyway, that's it. That's how I got the sound. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. I've got ambient guitar-related content coming every week. And if you're interested, you may want to check out Chords of Orion Music. And as always, I'll see all of you on the next video.